What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sirr Love from Phase 6. Here's another snippet from Chasing Greatness. All right. Let's keep this energy going. Let's keep this energy going for sure. So who are we going to chat with next? That was Q. Let's see where we're going to go with next. I'm going to reach out to Alex. Yeah. Let's reach out to Alex. Alex is in VA. Is in the VA. Let's do it. Let's see. Alex is a manager. Okay, I see. Alex wants to have a debate about 360 conversations. In short, he didn't want. I'm not saying he wants to, but I could tell by the energy that we're going to end up having a debate about 360s. This should be exciting. I'm eager to see what happens. Let's see where this goes. Reaching out to Alex. Let's do it. Who is this? Hello, man. Speak to Alex.
Oh yeah, just Alex. Plain Alex.
Alex. I'm talking. Yes, Alex Rivera in Orlando.
Yeah, Alex Rivera.
You asked me. Let me go back. What would be the best way to get an artist some PR connections for blogs, radio, and interviews?
Yeah.
My bad, man. I confused you with a whole nother Alex, my guy, man.
That's cool.
Okay. So is that still your same question?
Yeah, that was really it. So I'm a manager. That part was true.
Okay.
I basically have an artist development company.
All right.
So we've been able to, as far as the artists we're working with now, anything that has to do with image, creative side, as far as the recording, videos, the media, all that, we basically have that taken care of for the most part. Now, basically, what I feel like the next step is really tapping into, reaching out to A&Rs, PR companies, things like that. But without being in the industry yet, as far as connections goes, then that was basically my question. Like, without having to go to these pages like Submit Hub and all these other pages, like if there's a better approach that you would say, in order to be able to get placements or sync licensing or things like that.
Okay. So for clarity, you said you've already figured out the PR side of it. So you don't want to talk about the PR side of it?
That's what we're looking for. That's part of what I need to get into. Really, what we have already figured out is more of the creative side and the branding for the artist.
Okay.
But I haven't tapped in too much as far as blogs and radio interviews and radio placements like that.
Got it. All right. So let's talk about it. We can definitely have that type of conversation. So from a PR perspective, let's talk about PR first. So public relations is, there are multiple tenets, multiple components to public relations that you need to be aware of, right? Sure. So first off, and I think I talked about this before, it hasn't been released yet, so I'll just talk about it again. I'm not sure if I'll say the exact same things, but so from a PR perspective, publicists do different things. So every publicist will tell you that they can do everything. But in my experience, publicists will be Michael Jordan in one area, and they'll be okay in other areas. All right?
Yeah, sure.
And so one key thing for you to know and what's important to you is trying to figure out what is important to you. All right, so let's talk about these categories of publicists that are common. You have the publicist that is a superstar when it comes to events. They know all the event planners. They know all the other publicists that are doing events, because obviously publicists are typically involved in planning, curating, and inviting people for events, blah, blah, blah. So they know all the other publicists. They have good, strong connections. They know the venue owners. They know event throwers. They know promoters. They know all these different players. They just know all these people that when it comes down to making something happen, they can get you into the event, right? So there's certain types of publicists where, it's Grammys in Cali, and I'm trying to be on the red carpet. I'm trying to go to the after parties. There's certain publicists that you'd hire for that, right?
Gotcha, okay.
And that could also apply to, local in your city promoters that move a certain type of, publicists that move a certain type of way. That's just event-based publicists, right? If you want to do an event, they can make it pop, right? Then you have, online publicists that really can do a number when it comes to blogs. Like when it comes to blogs and social media and all these different things, there are publicists that can really take you from zero to hero as far as in reference to getting you on these outlets, right? Now, it doesn't necessarily
Gotcha,
mean that
okay.
you're going to be featured. You might just be on, on the site on a random page that no one sees. That could happen, right?
Yeah.
The effectiveness of a publicist is going to be based off of various different things, which we'll talk about. Let's finish listing the publicists. So you have your blog publicist or your social, basically your online publicist, right? Then you have, the publicists that are going to be more of your traditional publicists, the ones that can really work a media run and get you on radio and different things of that nature so you could talk about your project. They have the relationships to get you on Jimmy Fallon and whatever other TV show that you might be trying to get on, right? You have the publicists that kind of work it at that level. They normally do media buying and all sorts of crap. Well, that normally goes through promotions, but they'll just be involved in all sorts of other activities that are of a higher scale, right? Those are the three most common types of publicists that I see. All right. And mind you, these publicists may have more strengths in one region or one country than another. So all these variables come into play.
That's important, yeah.
All that's important.
Okay.
So you could be hiring the dopest publicists, but if you're in Orlando and they don't work Orlando well, you could be paying a bunch of money for no reason.
That makes sense.
Right?
So basically, that's the conversation I have with whoever I want to
hire,
work with.
Yeah, whoever you want to hire.
Right?
You want to figure out what their strength is. But mind you, like I said, they're all going to tell you that they're good at all of it. So you have to listen to them. You have to listen to the nuances. You got to ask really good questions, and you got to make sure you're vetting them, like you're interviewing them. You don't want to make it sound like an interview because then they may not want to work with you.
Track record.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just kind of want to get listen. When they tell you the type of things that they've done, what are they saying often? Oh, I did this post. I got so-and-so on this. I got so-and-so on that. Like if they're talking a lot about the outlets that they got people on, then that's probably their bread and butter. Whereas if they're talking a lot about, if they're selling you on their service, they may be selling you on events and things that walkthroughs and blah, blah, blah. Like listen to them, right? You may have your own agenda, but make sure you're open to what they're saying, right? Active listening is very important when hiring a publicist. The next thing to know about hiring a publicist, which is probably more important, well, just as important as everything that I said, is that a publicist's job is to expand what is already there. If there's nothing there to expand, then the publicist is basically rendered helpless. You're going to be paying the publicist, and the whole time they're going to be asking you for more content. They're going to be asking you for more. You're going to hire someone to basically tell you to do shit. Right? And you're going to be, the whole time you'll be feeling like, why aren't you doing shit? Why do you keep telling me to do stuff? It's because you're not at a place where they can really work your project. And only reason they took your project on, because they either know that, if they know this up front, then you're a check. They know that they can get paid for basically consulting you until you get ready. Right? They're not going to tell you that, but that's basically what's going to happen. Or you sold them a bag of goods that was not true, and they went into the project thinking that it was bigger than it was, and then they have to course correct throughout the process. Because a publicist is going to do their job. They're going to, and their job has a handoff. You have to hand it off to them. And if you never hand anything off, you're going to pay them the monthly fee, and you ain't going to get what you want. Now, another thing to know about publicists is that at different stages of their career, some publicists, there's a hustler element to it. So if you are with a publicist, you don't really want to hire a publicist, in my opinion, unless you can go 6 months or more. Because if you're hiring a publicist for a 2-month sprint or 1 month this or whatever, they're basically going to slowly administer, their resources throughout that period. And they're basically they're going to cap it. It's going to be capped. So for me, when work with a publicist, I feel like a la carte is great. Let me buy your a la carte services. It may add up to more than their monthly retainer fee, but at least you can hold them to what you said. I pay for this, so you do this, right? A la carte services is one thing you want to do. And then if you do a sprint with a publicist, I say do a short sprint with them, see how hard they go, right? But you need to be prepared to turn around and do another 6 months. Don't expect to pay a publicist for 3 months and expect magic to happen, just because that's just not the way that it works. Publicity is a very intensive, a labor intensive, relationship intensive. It's a big goal. So it's a big task. Next thing you know is you have to have their buy-in. If they're not bought in, then they're not going to use their best relationships on you. Everyone in the game gets notoriety based off of what is called breaking an artist. So if you're the publicist that broke whoever, then you get more notoriety as a publicist. It gives you more credibility, it gives you more access, it gives you more opportunities, which leads to more money, more success, blah, blah, blah. So if said publicist believes that your artist has an opportunity to break, then they're going to be more invested. They're going to go harder. Now, breaking as an artist is going to be way more than just is the artist dope. A publicist is wise enough to know, because they deal with the team, that if the team is not good, if the team doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, this artist will never break no matter how great they are. Right? So the publicist is going to be evaluating the team, the business team, the whole structure of your team, what you can do, pros and cons, as well as the artist before they decide to commit and go through their secret bag of tricks to really go hard on you. Right? But in short, I'm giving you all this different game, but I'm going to sum it up here and say this. When you want to hire a publicist, you want to make sure that you know what your goals are for the publicist, i.e. events, right? National, like syndication, travel-based, type stuff, or online, right? You want to know where you want to go so that you're hiring the right person. 2, you need to already be moving, right? A publicist is gasoline. They are gasoline. If there is no fire, if you put gas on a log right now, what's going to happen?
That makes sense. So obviously I have to, and that goes with what you're saying about the publicist, because some of those things that you're saying, I could technically do the legwork for a lot of those things, except for maybe some of the things that are more specialized. But some of those things, as far as like the online marketing, all that, I don't necessarily need a publicist for that right now. I can probably put those resources in somebody that can help me with more live exposure.
Right.
Like events and things like that.
Correct. And you want to make sure that your artist is viable enough for the publicist to want to stand next to you at live events. Because if the publicist is there, the publicist's job is to know everyone in the room. You want the publicist to feel comfortable by saying, hey, this is my new client. Let me introduce you. And they're introducing you to, superstar producer, superstar, whoever. Like, you want them to feel, because to put their name on you, right, is a big deal. You also have PRs that are hustling. They'll say, hey, this is my new client, wink, wink, right? You also have that energy. So again, it goes back to the quality. If they believe, there's nothing stronger than someone working for you or with you that believes in your vision. And if you can get aligned, the publicist aligned with the vision, and you can pay the publicist appropriately, please don't go, like, the one thing you don't want to do with publicists is shortchange them, because they will shortchange their service. And it's already a delicate service. So either be in or be out. That's my advice with publicists. Start the relationship off right, because everyone wants to hustle the publicist, right? They're accustomed to it. So you hustle them, you treat them that way, they treat you that way. Just be in or out. It's going to cost $5,000 a month. All right? You either save up 2-3 months until you were ready to get it popping, or, and then do it later.
All in.
Right? Be in or be out, right? If you don't feel like the service that they're providing is worth that, because you don't need that service as much as you thought you did, then just be out. Right?
That makes sense.
That's my other piece of advice.
I never saw it as far as all them different categories. I mean, it makes sense, but I never really looked at it that way. So that's something to look into.
Yes, sir. And publicists can do so much, man. They can hook you up with producers and mess around and help you get the publishing and everything else that you were talking about. Like, you can mess around and get placements. You can mess around and get, there are also publicists that are just really good at, they should be A&Rs, but they're publicists, because they'll hook you up with a producer and a songwriter and this and that. And they could be a manager, but they just haven't made that transition yet, because maybe they don't like being babysitters. As a manager, babysitter.
Yeah, exactly.
They may not want that shit, but they may love helping with the creative. You have that too, right? So
they can just be out when they want to be out, in the sense, as far as like, it's like they're independent contractors, really.
Yep, they can come in, do what they love to do. It's like, babysitting. Oh, it's a little baby. I love the baby. Play with the baby, and okay, done with the baby. Baby shitting all over the place. Here you go. So,
great.
I hope that was helpful in your PR journey. I know there was two sides of the question, but I can only address half of it in this time frame.
No, that's good. That was great for sure. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Yeah,
man.
I'm actually on the process of buying one of them, because I know you sell like a an agreement template, right, on your website.
Yeah, we got all those. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm about to get some of those stuff that you have on there.
That would be
for my
dope.
artists and stuff too. Yeah,
Yeah, man, that'll be dope. We do we just try to provide insights and help people win and help people be successful. So I know I write a lot of info packs and things of that nature with the goal of helping people succeed, you know, and help people win. And it's just sharing, you know, my personal experience and experiences of the mentors that guided me, and just cutting through the fat and cutting through the bullshit. Like, yo, you want to win? This is what you do.
Yeah,
it's not hard. It's just work.
You just say, yeah, that's the thing. It's not hard. It's just, it takes time and effort.
Yeah, man. It's not hard. It's work, and it's also faith and trust and all these other difficult things that can really, you know, make or break a situation. So best of luck to you, my guy. I appreciate you for supporting the channel, for supporting the website, and whatever you decide to cop and do on the website, I support that as well. And I hope that we can continue being, you know, a vessel for your success. And hopefully we can have another conversation like this in the future as we're continuing to do outreach on the podcast, my guy.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, my guy.
All right. You too. Take care.
Wasn't that dope? That was dope. I think that was my second time having this publicity conversation. So I'm not going to drill down into it because now there's going to be multiple, you know, pieces of content around it, but none of the content has dropped yet. So why not? Why not repeat that? Why not give y'all that? Right? That's how I'm feeling. I don't know everything, but I know a lot about a little and a little bit about a lot. And I'm trying to give you guys everything that I got right here on Phase 6. Check us out at www.phasevi.com. Again, that's www.phasevi.com. Beam in.